Deep within the heart of an uncharted forest in Africa, there lies a place known only as the Whispering Grove. It is said that this grove exists at the edge of reality and myth, a sacred space where time bends, spirits linger, and secrets are buried beneath ancient roots. Villagers who live near the forest speak of it in hushed tones, warning travelers never to venture too far into its depths. But curiosity has always been humanity's greatest strength and its deadliest flaw. In a small village nestled on the outskirts of the dense jungle, life moved slowly but steadily. Farmers tilled their fields, children played by the riverbanks, and elders gathered under baobab trees to share stories passed down through generations. Among these tales was the legend of the Whispering Grove, a forbidden path hidden deep within the forest, guarded by unseen forces. They said the grove held unimaginable power for those brave enough or foolish enough to find it. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows over the village, a young woman named Akua sat alone by the fire. Her mind churned with thoughts she dared not voice aloud. Akua had grown up hearing the warnings about the grove, yet something inside her yearned to uncover its mysteries. She felt drawn to it like a moth to flame, unable to resist the pull of the unknown. Her grandmother, Nana Abina, noticed her restlessness. "Akua," she said softly, her voice carrying the weight of countless winters, "do not let your ears be deceived by whispers from the wind. That place, it consumes those who seek it." "But what if it holds answers?" Akua replied, her eyes blazing with determination. "What if it can heal our land, bring rain to our crops, or protect us from harm? Shouldn't we at least try?" Nana Abina sighed deeply, her wrinkled hands trembling as she reached out to touch Akua's cheek. "Child, some questions are better left unanswered. Some doors are meant to remain closed." Yet even as her grandmother spoke, Akua knew she could not turn away. That night, while the village slept, she packed a small bag with essentials and set off toward the forest, guided only by the faint glow of the moon. The air grew thick and heavy as Akua stepped deeper into the forest. Trees stretched skyward, their branches intertwining like skeletal fingers. Strange sounds echoed around her, soft murmurs, rustling leaves, and distant laughter that seemed both playful and sinister. Despite her fear, Akua pressed on, driven by an insatiable hunger for truth. Hours turned into days as she wandered through the labyrinth of green. Hunger gnawed at her stomach, and exhaustion weighed down her limbs. But still, she pushed forward. Then, on the third day, she found it. At first glance, the Whispering Grove appeared no different than any other clearing in the forest. Sunlight filtered through the canopy above, illuminating a circle of moss-covered stones arranged in a spiral pattern. At the center stood a massive tree, its trunk twisted and gnarled, with bark that shimmered faintly as though infused with starlight. Around it, flowers bloomed in colors Akua had never seen before: vivid purples, electric blues, and iridescent greens. As she approached, the whispers began. They started as gentle breezes brushing against her skin, then grew louder, more distinct. Voices filled her mind, speaking in languages she didn't understand but somehow comprehended. They promised her power, knowledge, and freedom from all her burdens. They called her name, coaxing her closer. "Akua," one voice hissed, smooth and seductive. "You have traveled far. Your courage deserves reward. Come closer," another urged, its tone warm and inviting. "We will show you wonders beyond imagination." But amidst the sweet promises, there were darker undertones, threats veiled in honeyed words, warnings cloaked in flattery. Akua hesitated, torn between desire and instinct. Suddenly, a figure emerged from behind the tree. It was neither human nor animal, but something in between. Its body shimmered like liquid silver, shifting and changing with every step. Eyes like molten gold bore into hers, piercing her soul. "You dare enter my domain," the creature said, its voice resonating like thunder. "Speak your purpose, mortal, or leave now and spare yourself the consequences." Summoning every ounce of courage, Akua stepped forward. "I seek wisdom," she declared, her voice steady despite the fear clawing at her chest. "I wish to understand the balance of life and death, the cycles of nature, and how to protect my people from suffering." The creature tilted its head, studying her with an intensity that made her feel stripped bare. "Wisdom comes at a price," it said finally. "Are you willing to pay? What must I give?" Akua asked, though dread pooled in her stomach. The creature smiled, a chilling expression devoid of warmth. "A piece of yourself, a memory, a dream, a part of your essence. Choose wisely, for once given, it cannot be reclaimed." Akua hesitated, her mind racing. What could she afford to lose? Slowly, she closed her eyes and thought of her happiest moment, the day her younger brother was born, when joy had overflowed in her heart. It was a cherished memory, but perhaps one she could live without. "I offer this," she whispered, placing a hand over her heart. A searing pain shot through her chest as the memory was ripped away, leaving behind an emptiness she hadn't anticipated. Tears streamed down her face, but she refused to cry out. The creature nodded approvingly. "Your sacrifice pleases me. Now listen closely, for I shall grant you the knowledge you seek." It leaned close, its breath cold against her ear, and began to speak. Words poured forth like a torrential flood, filling her mind with visions of creation and destruction, birth and decay, harmony and chaos. She saw the intricate web connecting all living things, understood the delicate balance required to sustain it, and learned how easily it could unravel. When the creature finished, Akua collapsed to her knees, overwhelmed by the sheer magnitude of what she had absorbed. Her body ached, her spirit felt frayed, but she was alive and enlightened. Akua returned to her village changed. She carried herself differently, her gaze sharper, her presence commanding. When drought threatened their crops, she led rituals to summon rain. When illness struck, she brewed medicines using herbs she claimed were gifts from the earth itself. Under her guidance, the village thrived. Yet, there was a shadow over her triumph. The missing memory haunted her, a void she couldn't fill no matter how hard she tried. And sometimes, late at night, she would hear faint whispers echoing in her mind, reminding her of the price she had paid. Years later, as an elder herself, Akua shared her story with the next generation. She warned them of the dangers of seeking forbidden knowledge, of the sacrifices demanded by such pursuits. But she also emphasized the importance of understanding the world around them, of respecting its mysteries rather than exploiting them. And so, the tale of the Whispering Grove lived on a reminder that curiosity, while a powerful force, must always be tempered with caution. For in the pursuit of answers, one risks losing pieces of themselves along the way.